There you go.
Do start.
We're recording.
Hi there, folks. This is the MailRight Agent Show. It's episode 52. I've got Jason Bates as my co-host. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing great, Jonathan. How you doing?
Oh, not bad. It's not been a bad one. They actually got some work done. So, Jason, we've got an interesting subject we agreed on in this episode. Why are so many real estate agents still afraid of technology? Like to start off? Got any insights why you think there's a little bit of fear there?
Yeah, I talk to agents all the time and talk to them about what they're doing social media wise to help build their brand. Put their name out there, let the world know who they are and what they do and who they represent. And, a lot of times agents, for me, the ones I come across, I don't know if afraid's the right word, but they're a little maybe apprehensive because you're always a little gun shy about things you don't know about. And social media seems to change, even Facebook, right? Facebook, as soon as you get a grasp on Facebook, then they roll out Facebook Live. Or they roll out advertising or boost your post or these other, tools, if you will, within Facebook. And so agents, at least from my experience, seem to kind of not embrace change rather than they just kind of get used to what they know and then try to work with what they know rather than trying to think outside the box of how they can utilize additional tools to improve their exposure. So I think it's apprehension, I guess, maybe a little bit there. We hear all the excuses all the time, at least I do. Hey, I've got a listing appointment, or I've got this, or I've got to do that. And social media is a lot of work. That's the other thing I think that agents come to realize once they get involved with social media, that it takes a lot of time. It takes an effort.
Yeah, I think that's so true, actually. I think what we find a little bit, things that we don't understand, we get apprehensive about it. It comes from the system, when we're in education, things that we're not that great on, we tend to ditch because we fear being ridiculized by others or seen as not being truly competent adults. And a lot of successful people, funny enough, haven't got a fear of failure. They fail quickly and then they move on and they learn from it. And so people, and of course, if you tell yourself that you're going to be no good at something, that's a very difficult hurdle to overcome. And I think another factor is that there is so much technology being offered to real estate agents and to the industry in general. There's so many apps, different platforms, social media, that it's so easy to feel totally overwhelmed. So a way of dealing with that is just push it all to one side. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they don't understand it. Therefore, they are afraid to get, I don't say like you said, ridiculed or whatever about it. I don't know if that's the right thing, but anytime, even like the live streaming, we're doing live streaming right now as part of the podcast. Getting an agent to even do film is like pulling teeth, right? There's very few agents out there that will even film themselves in front of a house or doing an open house or, whatever the case, even a testimonial with one of their clients. Very difficult for agents to put themselves on film. And I'm not quite sure why. For me, when I talk to agents, I ask them, who's your audience? And they, well, I'm looking for the luxury, or I'm looking for the first time home buyer. I'm looking for listings, or I'm looking for, it's like, wait a minute. Everybody that walks through a quote unquote Starbucks, that should be your potential client. And so the more people you can get in front of, the better your chances of increasing your business. And video, social media are those tools. And we have somebody in the chat here said, hey, look, it's free. What agent out there doesn't like free? So it's just a question then of understanding and then kind of honing those skills for whatever it is that you're looking to try to do. And I think when you say about social media, it's understanding social media. So for example, Twitter is not a quote unquote social media. I know it's kind of lumped into social media, but I look at Twitter as a news feed. And news feed and the approach to a news feed is much different than a social media outlet, where Facebook is the true social media where people interact and engage and like and comment on each other. And you can do that in Twitter, certainly. But the initial comment in Twitter, for example, is a news feed. Hey, just got a listing. It's hot on the market. Won't last long. Come see my open house. That might be a tweet for something like that. Where Facebook, the approach might be slightly different, or would be slightly different to get the same message across.
Yeah, so, I think that's so right. Let's start with social media. You're a big user of it. You try various platforms. Have you got any insights based on your experience about obviously you're a professional mortgage broker, but it's a very similar industry with close ties. So have you got any insights about things that you did wrong with social media and how your road has kind of matured, and some victories or quality leads that you might have obtained from social media? Got anything you could tell us?
Yeah, for sure. First mistake, I didn't get into it soon enough, because all the people that got into it sooner than I did have a bigger following, a bigger audience that they can draw upon. My audience is there. It's pretty good. It's better than most for sure, but it could have been better. And so the success stories, I will tell you that the content that I try to provide, except for Twitter, of course, but the other content such as on YouTube, the podcast that I do, I try to provide evergreen material, meaning that the material is good today and it's good tomorrow. I'm not a flash in the pan type social media thing, although Twitter is kind of that. It lends itself to be that because of the news feed aspect of it. Same somewhat with Facebook as that, but on some of the other social media, like the videos and things I do, I try to make them evergreen. And as a result of them being evergreen in some of the videos, I've had actually people call me from videos I did 2 and 3 years ago. So that would be, a little piece of advice. If I were a realtor, I'd try to make some evergreen material, not make it just about the house. And I think that's a big mistake. One of the things that I almost made the mistake in was investing in a drone and that aspect of the social media. Hey, I want to be the first on the market to have this drone video. Isn't that cool? I look at that now as kind of a negative, because you look at some of those videos and how they were done. I actually see how close the neighbor would be to that house. And if I'm a consumer, I'm not really showing the real value of the home. I might be showcasing some of the negative aspects of that particular home by doing a drone. But as the realtor, I think they want to be seen as the first person to have this technology thrown out there using drone video, and not really looking at the total aspect of the drone video. So be cautious, I guess, is before you jump into any social media, before you really dive into it for because what we think we may like, because in the industry all the time, may not be what the consumer or the public may want. We get a little distorted when you're in it. For example, when I talk to agents, they say, well, I don't know what I would talk about. If I did a podcast or if I did a video, what do I talk about? It's like, well, you gotta dumbify it a little bit. You gotta bring it down a little bit, right? Don't overthink it. Think of it as a first-time home buyer or a consumer. What's happening? What's hot in the market? What trends are happening in the market? Is stainless steel trendy in the market? Barn doors, for gosh sakes. Barn doors are a hot trend in housing right now for, barn door in the house instead of a regular door. It's kind of a trendy thing out here. I'm seeing them everywhere. I'm seeing them in magazines. I'm seeing them everywhere. Well, that's a topic to be talking about. Does that add value to the home? Does it not add value? Those sort of things. The other thing too that I tell agents that for endless material is talk to your local school principal, local businesses. And this is where I think a lot of realtors miss the point, is that you're selling a lifestyle. The house comes and goes. When you're selling in a particular area, Scottsdale Ranch, McCormick Ranch, Paradise Valley, Chandler, you're selling a lifestyle. Play on those lifestyles for your social media. And if you do that, you're going to have success outside of the real estate. You're going to build an audience just for the lifestyle itself, which then translates into real estate.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I'm just going to pause a second. Yeah, I think that's so right, Jason. But I think especially real estate and the mortgage brokers is a very conservative industry in some ways, and a lot of agents just want. But there's a boundary, isn't it? There seem to be some agents that maybe push it to the other extreme, and a lot of other agents are probably too conservative. So there's a middle ground. Like I say to a lot of people, if you really do want your mother to see this, it's probably not appropriate to go out. But it doesn't mean that you should just be totally tedious either, does it? Oh, sorry.
Right.
Sorry about
that. You're okay. So, there is an extreme on either side. I've seen some agents here locally that really push the sexy part about real estate a little too far, right? And are not very professional in what they're doing. And yes, they get a lot of attention on that. However, I feel it's short-lived. It's not very professional. It's not a good statement. And I'm sure each brokerage is going to have some certain rules for their agents when following and doing social media. So certainly consult with your broker on how social media should be handled. But, I once talked to an agent. I was talking to him about live streaming, right? I think live streaming, I've been doing it now for about a year and a half or so, a little bit longer than that actually. And now Facebook came out, in January or whatever it was, for Facebook live streaming, not seeing a whole lot of agents on live streaming or utilizing that platform. And I spoke to one agent and said, hey, what would you do with live streaming? How would you utilize that in your business? And he said, Jason, I don't really think live streaming is that big of a deal. I look at live streaming as the same as what the internet was back in 1990. Or 97 or whenever it came out, 96 when it came out to everybody, that people were afraid to be on the internet. If we take ourselves back and take a step back, we said, hey, the internet, I don't want to be on there. There's skeletons out there. Somebody could, steal my identity, or there's all kinds of these little things out there. Now, for the internet anyway, people don't seem to be able to live without it. And 90% of people go to the internet to check you out to see if you're the real deal. And so, in fact, I just saw a video here locally from a title company who did like a little study on millennials. And millennials said the first thing that they do, first of all, they take a referral. First and foremost, they'll take a referral over anything else when looking for a real estate agent. But then after they talk to the realtor, the first thing they do is they go to social media and see how relevant they are for their market. And if we're going to look at, millennials, and all the realtors I talk to right now want to know how to get in touch with millennials. When are millennials coming out? When are they buying? What are they doing? And there's all kinds of different studies on that, on how they're treating real estate and how their attitude toward real estate. But when a millennial says, hey, look, I'm going to go to the social media platforms, whether it be Snapchat. Now, she mentioned Twitter, actually, as one of them, and Facebook were the two that she mentioned. When you're not on those platforms and they can't find you, all of a sudden you become irrelevant. And irregardless of the referral, you've got a notch in your arm, a kink in your armor, if you will, for for earning that person's business. So this is where I just don't understand why realtors are so apprehensive about using social media. Now, the other thing, Twitter, Jonathan, I mean, I use Twitter quite a bit. I think you use Twitter quite a bit. Most realtors have Twitter, but then don't know how to use it. In fact, 50% of them that I talk to don't even remember their password to get into Twitter. So they're not using, they just have it just to have it. And it's like, well, that doesn't work either when it comes to social media.
Yeah, it's so true. So we're going to go for our break, folks, and we'll be back in a minute and we'll be discussing this. And we'll also be looking at some of the technologies themselves. We're coming back from our break, folks. I totally agree with you about Twitter. Most agents don't remember their password. They don't even really concentrate that much on their Facebook page linked to the things that Facebook did like 18 months, 2 years ago. And they just concentrate a bit on their profile, which I think is a mistake. I'm not anti you posting stuff on your profile, but I am, because my views about the power of Facebook advertisement and also their technologies that are coming up around live video. I want to get on to a subject that's linked to this, Jason, that we had when we had our pre-show discussion, which is around technology, customer relation systems or managers. And you were saying about your brokerage, they've given you one, and I think it was Salesforce, isn't it?
Yes, Salesforce.
And I think this is a general problem. The problem is that you've got to duplicate entry. If you haven't got an assistant or a virtual assistant, you've got to put all the data in, and you really got to really commit yourself to that platform. And I think you said you found it a little bit of a struggle. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a big struggle for me. First of all, I don't want to pay somebody a bunch of money just to do data entry. It just isn't the best use of my money. So for me to do it, I have to do it for our LOS system, which is a loan origination system. We have to input for the application, and then we have to take that data and then re-input it into another system for a CRM for the Salesforce system. Those two systems don't talk amongst one another or communicate amongst one another. So that's a little cumbersome. And I think for some agents, I think the same thing. I don't know, not that they have an origination system or anything like that, but I think the data entry portion for realtors, I think is a little, I don't want to say beneath them, but I just don't know why. If that's all I had to do was use Salesforce, then that would be a lot easier for me. But because I have two different systems I have to use, a little difficult.
Yeah, and I think, folks, this is a very, I'm looking for the right word here, a very typical situation. And it's a problem with all customer relations systems. I think if you are going to build up a database, it's important to utilize one of these systems, but getting the data into those systems is the problem, because A, who wants to do that? And secondly, where do you find the time? Now, there are some solutions, folks. There's one here. I'm going to put the link in to chat. And it's Full Contact. And we're going to integrate their API system with MailRite. But I've been using their system myself. And it comes with two versions, folks. It comes with a fully functioning free version, and then a paid version, which is about $9 a month. And with the free version, there are, I won't say restrictions, but the limitation. There's only one, you can only link it to one email account. and the synchronization only happens once a day. But what does this really do? It's multi-featured. Basically, it works the best with Gmail, and if you use the Gmail client on your mobile phone, Android or iPhone, or you use the Gmail interface in your browser on your desktop, if you use Chrome, and you should, you could download a Chrome extension from Full Contact, and basically it synchronizes with that Gmail account, sucks all the email contact information, first name, second name, sucks all that out of Gmail and puts it into Full Contact interface in one list. And if you go for the paid version, you can have multiple email accounts, and it will suck them all out and put them into one list into Full Contact. With the Chrome extension, when you hover over a name, it's in the right. You click, when you click on an email address, you then on your right, you can click Full Contact, and it will suck all the information on the internet about that person. It will show you their Twitter account, their Facebook account, their LinkedIn, their account, and you can see the most recent Twitters or the most recent Facebook posts, or if they post anything on LinkedIn. And it gives you a kind of summary of everything they've done on the internet. And you can also gives you photographs. I'm a very visual person, and I can remember a face much better than a name in some ways. What then it can do, it's got a couple of other really fantastic features. It has a number of API, that's a little bit of jargon there, folks, that will integrate with Salesforce and a number of these other really popular contact custom management systems. So you can select what list in that system will link to Full Contact, and it will just send those people to like salesforce.com. So you don't have to do the data entry, Jason. That sounds attractive, doesn't it?
That sounds very attractive.
Now, another feature it comes with is it's got a really good card reading system that works on Android and on iPhone. You do need the latest iPhone operating system. They also recently brought out a desktop application for PC and Mac, so you don't have to use the browser. The Mac, we've been waiting a long time for the native Mac desktop application, and it only works with the latest application. But when we get back to the card reader, with the free program, it only will read 10 cards per month. But you can buy additional packs without having to sign up for the monthly plan. So if you just satisfied with one email account and daily synchronization, you can get away with just the free account and buying their card reading packs that come in 50 to 100. And it really does work, folks. It scans the cards. They got automotive system, but if the card isn't read up to their standards, they have staff that checks the card data and inputs it manually for you, and that all goes into your like salesforce.com. So yeah,
card of the consumer, you take a picture of it, it automatically uploads that information into that contact or creates a card.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Now,
and unlike other systems, it's almost 100% effective. If you ever use any of these card reading applications or some of these other services, that statement would ring true for you, because some of the card reading scanners are quite expensive, and some of the other systems aren't really that accurate. So you normally got to literally manually put a lot of the data in.
Yeah.
This actually works quite effectively. So I would suggest if you really look at this, folks, because it also comes with a very open API system, because Full Contact want as many people to use their system as possible. And like I say, we're integrating it into MailRight in the next couple of months, because we have found, even though we are building into MailRight a very simple customer management system, but it's not going to be anything like Salesforce, because we think most agents want something really simple.
Mm-hmm.
But we've found, even with our email marketing side, about them importing a list, is that agents have got lists all over the place, in a phone, in LinkedIn, in their Gmail, and it's just getting it all in one place and keeping it up to date. They find it a nightmare, and we feel something like Full Contact will solve that problem for them.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty interesting. I think anything to make a realtor's life easier is a good thing.
And the other great thing, I know I'm kind of singing their praises here, but the other thing I would like to point out, Jason, is they have got a number of really great webinars, but also they have a concierge system where they will, for free, you can set up an appointment with them using GoToMeeting or Google Hangout. And one of their success teams will spend literally an hour with you one-to-one for free, Jason, on the free program or the paid program, and they will walk through the whole thing with you one-to-one.
So service is really good. That's super important.
So there's not many companies, IT service businesses, that will sit down with you for an hour if you're using their free program one-to-one and answer any questions and go through the whole system with you one-to-one.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. That's good. That's really good, actually, because it's difficult to get. So you pay for these things. I know with Salesforce, it's super complicated, and I don't have everything. I haven't even scratched the surface with Salesforce. And what it's
I would think it's totally over the top. Even you're busy. Even for you, really, it's really built for professional sales teams of 5+ that really need it. I just don't think for a single effective mortgage broker, it's a really effective system, really. But look at this. But it will work. If you're not in, there's a number of, just to finish off. There's a number of very inexpensive or free or kind of semi-free content management systems. One of the best that does work with Full Contact is Zoho. It's ZOHO. They have a number of programs.
Put the link in there if you would.
Yes.
This is a contact.
It's a customer management system.
Okay.
And another one that works with this, but is quite expensive, but it's purposely aimed at the real estate industry, is Follow Up Boss. I think it's a superb system that also works with Full Contact and does a lot of things, but it starts, if you're going to pay monthly, it's around $70 a month. But it's when you set it up, a lot of things are done automatic for you.
Right.
I'm going to try and get the Zoho here, because of the three, I think it's one of the better ones. I've got the link here. They offer a fully free functioning program, but also if that's too limited, the next one up is about $12. Here we are, put the link in. It's $12, $9 to $12 a month. And you can get a further discount if you pay yearly. And they've improved the interface enormously, and I think it's not specifically aimed at the real estate industry, but it has a number of functionality that make it totally suitable for the individual agent that's looking for a system that isn't too enormous, that also will work with full contact. And I think the combination of full contact with a CMS that will work with it is a winning combination, actually, Jason.
Here's one thing I always look for, Jonathan. I know we've spoken about this several times off on phone or on other blabs and things like that, is customizable or customizability, if that's a word. Being able to customize some of the things that you send out. I will tell you on these CRMs, I have literally, I don't know, at least five realtors on a weekly basis send me their flyer on my personal email. How they got my email, I don't know. I don't care. I just like looking at it to see what's out there as far as competition goes. And for realtors out there, they probably get the same thing from their competitors. And this is one of the things that we kind of touched base on at the beginning here. This sort of stuff takes work. You can't set it and forget it. I get the same email with different branding from 5 different agents, literally within 5 minutes of each other. They're almost like on the same distribution, button kind of thing, which tells me it's done from a company that's doing it and handling it for them, and they're paying a service fee for it, which, there's nothing wrong with that, but make it customizable, make it unique to you. People do business with people they like, and they have to know you to get to like you. And if you're doing the same format on how to baste a turkey or how to make sidewalk chalk or how to stay cool in the summer or how to clean your pool or, all these sort of things, it doesn't make you unique. I always tell people, what is your unique selling proposition? Why would somebody want to do business with you over somebody else? And when you're selling real estate, you've got to be unique. And having a CRM that isn't customizable, like, for example, I tell a lot of the agents that I work with, look, do a video. Do a video, a weekly video, a monthly video. I don't care what it is. Just do a video. Send it out. Do a video for thanking them. Do a video for whatever. It's endless, the possibilities. But this, I get this other one, coffee with, so-and-so. It's like a coffee, sit down and have coffee and read the paper kind of thing is what it's insinuating. I don't know about you, Jonathan, but I find that labor intensive. Now, 10 years ago, believe me, I was a subscriber to the Arizona Republic here in Phoenix, and I got the daily paper, right? But then it got to be just too labor intensive. Why read it when I can listen to it and do other things at the same time? Listen to it while going to work or other, it just made my life easier. Reading something, people read the first sentence on something and bolt off. It's the same thing. Yeah. Same thing with a website, right? I mean, if the website doesn't have video on it, people are gone.
Well, yeah, I agree with a lot with you say. I think it's a very complicated area, and there's definitely really bad ways to do things and there's right ways to do things. And I think next week, folks, we're going to talk about, hopefully Jason will agree with this, I think we should talk about effective email marketing, because if it's still done in the right way, it's still been shown to be one of the most effective ways of keeping in touch with your audience. Yeah. And I think we also look at video services, what's out there in apps and in online services around video, and the good points, the bad points. There's over half a dozen different services I can talk about. I'll send the links to Jason beforehand so he can have a bit of a look at them and we have his perspective on them, and we can have a good chat about that. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds great.
So I think we're going to wrap up today's show, folks. If you want to see some of the, I've got over 50 episodes on the Mel Wright website. That's mel-wright.com. There's over 50 video podcasts with a number of experts from the real estate industry on the website. We've got a iTunes podcast which you can subscribe to, which this show is going to go on. And if you need any advice, either approach me. You can email me at jonathan@mel-right.com. I answer any inquiry personally. So, Jason, I've
You
done
don't have
my...
an automatic responder on your email?
No, not my personal email, no. I think that's a bit horrible, really. But Jason, I plugged me, so it's time. Anything you want to plug, and how can people get hold of you, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity to do that. You can check out my website, www.Valley of the Sun Real Estate Show. From there, connect with me on any social media. That's a .com, by the way. Connect with me on any social media platform. Listen to my podcast called Valley of the Sun Real Estate Show. You can check that out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Music, anywhere you can find a podcast. You can check that out. And reach out to me if you're looking to purchase or refinance a home in the state of Arizona. I certainly would love the opportunity to earn your business.
That's great. Thanks, Jason. So, folks, we're ending the podcast. We do this normally every Monday around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Blab IM. So if you're around and you want to jump in, we normally stay on for a few minutes after to answer any questions and chat with anybody. And we'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Say bye, Jason. Bye.
Until next time. Bye.
See you later.
That's it, right?
I think it's a good job I had a backup recording, because I'm not sure I pressed the pause button. But I've got a backup recording. Jesus Christ, what a nightmare. It's been but I think this quickly talk about next week's topic.
Yeah.
So I think I think it's always a kind of price to value dynamic. Unless the agent's prepared, we at Mel-Right, we write about 8 stories a month, and we put them in the interface, which is very easy to customize the stories, add some more, personalize them a bit more, or write your own story. But at least,
you know what would be really cool, Jonathan, is it's not so much the like, I understand there's certain things out there, spring cleaning, that sort of tips on how to, maybe list your home or show your home or stage your home or whatever. But if you can integrate in personalization of those things, the topics all remain the same, right? I mean, real estate has this kind of continual kind of topic thing going, right? But if you can personalize those, and what I mean by that is if you allow like your agents or the agents to say, hey, look, put a video in there.
Oh, he's frozen again. Blad's been at it, folks.
Thanks for checking this.
Come back. Oh, he's back again.
Oh, I'm back now. Did I break?
Yeah, it froze a little bit.
Okay, sorry about that.
No.
Just make it personalized, not so rubber stamped. When it's stamped, it's just oh man, I turn those guys off. Big time.
Yeah. Our stories, funny enough, we only provide like one kind of real estate stories. Most of our stories is what we call human focus stories. They're really short, about 2 paragraphs in length, and they're aimed at your large target database of people that know you, but not maybe looking for a mortgage or looking to buy a property. But it's just to keep you. And we suggest that the agent expand on the topic that we're provided, add a couple of phrases that would be recognised as their personality, and comment on the story. We say at the bottom of it, add your own view about the story so it comes across more personal, or add a video to it. And that's what we suggest. Video.
I can't stress that enough. I wish that more agents would do them.
Well, yes.
Of course, do them right. I'm not, the video.
A lot of agents do not come across that well on video, Jason. You've got to be relaxed and reasonably outgoing. And also, I think it's got to be short and sweet, and it can't be a ramble. Nobody's going to watch a 10-minute video of it. I think adding a little bit to the story through video probably helps, and you can do that with MailRight. So also Curator, that they use one of our competitors. They use Happy Grasshopper as their supplier. But I have a couple of agents that work with Chris and Jimmy of Curator, and I get their email. And they're really very short. And I will send you a couple that are sent to me. There's another service where they actually use Google Hangout, the company called Viral, and they basically do a monthly interview of the agent, and the agent is kind of managed, and they do a kind of 15-minute topic with only the agent speaking, and they produce a newsletter with the video embedded. You click it and you can see the agent, and it goes to a web page that has the full video. There's a number of video, obviously BombBomb have been pushing hard. There's another company that offer a free product that does something very similar to BombBomb called Joe. I will find the link next week. Then you've got the hosting services, folks. I'm not a big fan of you, apart from SEO, I'm not a fan of you actually utilizing YouTube, because after the video's played, it will show a load of video at the end of it that's not related to you, basically. You got Vimeo. Vimeo is a really good service. They offer a free service, and then their pro service is about $40 a year.
I'm a huge fan of YouTube, though. I'm kind of surprised to hear you say that.
I think for SEO, as long as you tag it up properly and you put decent notes, you can get good SEO. So I'm not saying not use it. I'm saying that it's probably best to the embedded video. If you're using one of these services, I wouldn't use.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Go on.
No, I hear what you're saying. Okay, so you're saying for the email aspect of it. Email.
Well, I would, if you've got the time, I think it's best to use two services. The one I use for a lot of this is not YouTube, but I do put it up on YouTube. All my other podcast, all the videos on both podcasts, the videos put up on my YouTube channel. But a lot of the email and the other video, I use a company called Vistia, and I'm going to put the link here. They come with a free account, which is great value, and I'm just going to see where I can put my link in. There we go. Oops, I can't put any more links into this blab. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we are.
And
I'll put a link in now. I've got the paid version, the next version up. One of the great things that Whistler offers is you can embed the ability to get emails, so that you can like play 5 minutes of the video and it will stop and ask for somebody's email address before it will play anymore. They can X that out and see the rest of the video, but it's a great way of building up your email list. So you could have the first frame in your email. You can't actually play video in your email. You do see some with BombBomb, you see a person moving around a little bit. That's an animated gift. You click on it and then it will take you to their player, which is online. The way I would do it with Whistler is I would have, which you can use MailRight for this, you can put the first frame of the video is the image. Click it, it will take it to a page that we can set up for you. And then if you're using a Whistler paid account, when somebody's watching it, you can ask for the email address. But obviously you already got them, that email address, because you're sending it out. But what I mean is you can use it to capture other people's email if they're going to the website. So all these services have strengths and weaknesses, folks, and we're probably going to talk more about it. So you've put in check out this, he's really good, these videos, and he does them himself. Right, I will do.
This gentleman here, he's I think he's in Alberta, Canada, or something like that. But he does them all himself, and he actually does a tutorial on how he does it. And that tutorial will show you how yeah, it's very high quality production level, and he does it himself. And he has a couple tutorials in his, and he goes over like the system that he uses and all that, and the equipment he uses and everything. But man, he gets a lot of business from YouTube. His stuff is very impressive.
Yeah.
And so now we all can't do that, right? But
I don't know. Not my agents.
Yeah,
they can't really cope with the amount of stuff they're doing now, let alone add any more. But you know, it's just doing small videos, maybe not.
Well, let me ask you this though. Okay, Jonathan, let me ask you that: if you want to break into the luxury real estate market, or you want to, you almost got it. You got to start doing sort of things. Now you're not going to do this on a $50,000 home, right? But that's when you start. You start your practicing there, and then you want to break into the luxury real estate market. This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
You need to get to that level.
Yeah. Well, I see more teams of agents getting together, and then having a social media manager and having either a freelance or somebody on staff as the graphic designer, social media, and also video manager, producer. And I think that you're going to increasingly the agents that really getting together with other agents to spread the cost, because the agents that can work with other agents and formulate small teams and then have the resources, have people help them do this, are the ones that are going to win in the coming years, Jason. That's how I see it.
I don't know if you guys use Google Plus at all. I haven't used it a whole lot lately. It's been probably about a year, really. But there was a group in there called, I'm looking it up right now. It's called the Best of Real Estate Videos, I think it is. And here it is. Yeah, Best of Real Estate Video. Now, the gentleman who started this is right here in Phoenix, but he has realtors from all across the country posting videos in there. There's some really creative videos in there. One of which I wanted to share, and hopefully I can find it here. It was fantastic. It really captured the lifestyle. Now, this realtor hired actors to be a part of this, right? But man, oh man, was it a fantastic video.
It's going to be. It's all around. Unfortunately, it's all around cost benefit, isn't it? It's a cost benefit analysis, isn't it? If you're in the luxury market, what these things that Jason are pointing out, you probably am going to have to, if you're not doing them now, you really do have to look at doing them, I would suggest. Go on, sorry.
Here's another thing, Jonathan, that was on here too, is that one realtor walked around in a park one day and just started asking random people, what is it that you look for in a realtor? What are the qualities of a realtor that you look for? And I thought it was brilliant, because he filmed it and then he posted it, and then you could use that as part of your advertisement of who you are.
I'll tell you one thing I haven't seen, which I really think is a great, I'm sure some agents are doing this, which is a great shame really, is I think you also see it is that if an agent is invested in their own website, you should look at local areas to talk about the schools, the services, the restaurants. But then you should, with your camera, there's a lot of kit now which isn't that expensive. That's another thing when we're talking about video next week. You've talked about it on your other podcasts and on your other blabs, equipment for the iPhone that stabilizes the video sound quality. I think it's going to be a great subject next week. But is to go around local businesses and interview those owners and say, I'm going to put this video up on my site and we're going to talk about your business a little bit. You know, if you've got anybody that you know that's interested in real estate, you know, refer them to me. You're building goodwill. And you also building individual content for your own website, which is evergreen content, Jason, that
totally.
in 18 months' time will still be showing up on Google. So you're killing multiple birds with one stone. But you just do not see a lot of agents doing that, Jason.
No, you don't. Here, I'll post it. I'll put it here. Here's one that's on a neighborhood in New York City that I thought was really nicely, tastefully done. Interviewed people. Hopefully it'll pull up here.
And you used to have to have a ton of equipment now, but with there's some mic kits. The wireless ones do tend to go up in price, but there's some good kits that, because it's sound. Funny enough, folks, it's sound quality that you've got to be really aware of when you're doing these interviews. But there's really good apps that you can put on your iPhone, Android to record sound. And there's tripods and other systems that stop shake that will allow you to take to video the interview and get fantastic sound and get it on your website without too much editing. So I really don't understand why more agents aren't doing this.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I definitely want to show this one. Here's the one where this. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here's this video here. This one is absolutely fantastic. I think it's one of the best videos. Sorry.
Well, that was me, actually.
This is one of the best videos I've ever seen for real estate.
Oh, yeah.
Here,
looks good.
Well, this is a new one here. Hopefully it's going to I put it in the
Yep.
box below. I don't know if it's going to pull up or not. If not, I'm going to put it in the chat here too. I don't know if it's Blab's kind of acting up right now, so I don't know if it's going to actually pull up.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, surprise, right?
So I think that's what we've had a few people walk through the Blab. We've had a good Alison. Is it Alison Joss? Alison? I'm butchering your name. Thanks for the Alison. Thanks. Oops.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah. So I think we're definitely going to maybe concentrate on the video element rather than the email next week, and we'll talk about some of these online services, apps, and equipment. How does that sound, Jason? We have a kind of video feast.
Yeah, no, that's good. The what do you think about this, Jonathan? When I've talked to agents, when I first started talking to them about video and stuff like that, they always want to showcase the property or they want to make a funny video. I don't know why funny is like.
Well, they got this. They want it to go. What's the word? Viral. You know, but the chances of going viral are about. There's more chance of me in the next couple of years climbing Mount Everest than producing a viral video, Jason.
Viral's kind of gone away, hasn't it? Viral. I mean, if you want to be on Tosh.0, okay, go do a viral video. But for real estate, there's no such thing as a viral video, is there? For real estate?
Not really, but I just think it came to mind when they were asking you to do, funny. Where I think the biggest thing is using video to show your expertise about area, and also producing really goodwill by interviewing other businesses in that area and showcasing restaurants, showcasing services that somebody moving into an area would need, gardening, landscaping, alert cleaning. There's a host of services which then you can have a directory, have video about the area, and it becomes a really local resource for anybody moving into that area. And the beauty, like I said before, Jason, that will be really evergreen content, which you're probably only going to have to update like once every couple of years. And it will produce a lot of local SEO traffic for you.
But there's a right way to do that and a wrong way to do that, right? And I can get the guy. There's a gentleman here. He's gone to every hotspot here in Phoenix and said, "Hey, check out this place." And what he's trying to do, he's trying to ride the coattails of these hotspots for SEO purposes, right? And he just puts his face in front of it, like there's a butterfly museum or something like that here in Phoenix. And he goes, "Oh yeah," and then says, "Oh, this is a great place to come bring the kid," and blah blah. And it's horrible.
Yeah.
Videos like, dude, I would never want to go there. You're not showcasing what it is. You're just saying to go there. Well, you mean nothing. You have no credibility whatsoever.
No, I mean actually interviewing somebody from the local business
exactly.
that you're highlighting, folks.
Don't do a drive-by and say, "Hey, it's a great place to eat burger," and then okay, that's it.
No, but it doesn't have to be a long one. It can be like 5 minutes, and I think it's very effective. But like I say, you don't see many agents doing this because it's a time investment. And when you've got a lead and you're dealing with a couple sellers per month, how do you fit all this in? But if you want to build your business and keep those quality leads coming in, these are the type of things you need to do. There's argument to be said about having great production quality. I think like Jason, if you're dealing with the luxury side, I think there are some I can't even talk today, Jason.
But here's the thing that I would say to that is that it's kind of like Blab, right? They always say content is king. And same with the video quality kind of king kind of deal. But the distribution is the holy grail.
Yeah.
To steal a Grant Cardone little saying. So you can have the movie Titanic, but if nobody sees it, who cares? So there's two strategies. You can have great production quality, but you got to have even better distribution quality. And I'll say that as far as like technology and what we've been talking about here earlier today, even, you have to build your audience. Most of one of the things I've learned from Blab is that the successful Blabs, the people who have them, it's not that they're any better than you and I, Jonathan, is that they're probably a little bit better than I am. I don't know about you. You're probably better than I am, but they come in with their own audience. They bring their own audience to whatever platform it is that they're doing. And so they have a distribution channel already set up in place. And so it doesn't matter the platform. They can call upon their 10,000 Twitter followers, for example, and they know they're going to get 1,000 people that are going to come over.
Yeah. So I think we're going to end this now because I've got to be off and catch up with some email. But do you think if I email you tomorrow, do you think midweek or Thursday or Friday, we could have a Zoom and I'll show you the back end of MailRite? And do you think that's a possibility, Jason?
Yeah, this week's going to be kind of busy for me. I've got to take my wife to the doctor's on Thursday.
I'm sorry to hear that. Nothing terrible, I hope.
No, it's routine. I've already met my deductible. Is that crazy or what? Here is June, met my deductible. So we're trying to cram in like and getting these things scheduled with the doctor. My wife's a cancer survivor. So getting these things scheduled in with oncologists and things like that, PET scans and all that, takes time.
Yeah.
So because we're met our deductible, we're like, hey, whatever we were putting off in 2017, let's get it in 2016. So we're kind of on a scramble to do that because it saves us money, and healthcare expenses are just outrageous. So this week I've got to take her to her doctor, and she's going to get a PET scan, and she gets sedated because she hates that little tube thing.
Yeah,
it's claustrophobic. So I've got to drive her there and stuff like that. So that takes about 3 hours or so.
Wow.
and then catching up.
All right. So we'll speak about this next Monday, and hopefully, because I like to get on with that. But next week, definitely. Then, all right.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, then. Thanks for the help, and hopefully, like I say, I got a backup. And speak to you soon, folks. Bye. I'm going to kick you out now, Jason.
See you.
Bye. Bye, folks. Hopefully, we covered some interesting stuff. Jason's a great guy, and thanks for the contribution. And we'll see you next week. Bye.